you know, EDC has been undergoing a review of its anti-corruption program, and the objective of the review of our anti-corruption policies and practices is determine if they're sound and appropriate for the type of business EDC is in, and also to see how well it reflects emerging global best practices. Could you give us a bit more context as to where these requirements for EDC come from?
In the international context, what's done is to encourage countries to put in place laws to combat corruption and, of course, to enforce those laws as well, which we see in the news every day. The element that probably comes up most often in questions and discussions with underwriters is probably the anti-corruption declaration that we obtain from the exporters. And Michael is probably best placed to give us an overview of how that sort of discussion happens with the exporters.
Yes, indeed. Actually, it's all in the way that we position the anti-corruption forum with the customer. So I tend to explain to the customer that this is a very sensitive subject matter to EDC, and we want our partners and customer to have good anti-corruption practices. It's kind of their commitment towards EDC to make sure that our partners is also living in the same principles as we do. So customers typically tend to really, have no objection in signing the anti-corruption forum. So Julie, actually I have a transaction that I'm looking at right now. It's a financing transaction. It's for an infrastructure project. I'd like to discuss with you more in length my CSR due diligence.
Have you done any pre-screening on the transaction? In particular, have you done any corruption screening?
I have. Actually, I've been using the tool that you guys have prepared for us, and I have found a flag in a transaction that had some collusion that was out in Asia. And I'd like to discuss that further with you.
It's likely we'll do enhanced due diligence on this transaction, which entails asking the exporter a few questions about the business that we're looking at.
I would say our customers are very open and willing to work with us through the due diligence process.
In 2014, we did enhanced due diligence on over 50 transactions involving at least that many companies, and sometimes we find that exporters that do have anti-corruption practices in place are actually quite eager to tell us a little bit about their practices. And we also do have resources that we can provide exporters on combating corruption.
It sounds like the discussions we have with the exporters about the anti-corruption declaration serve to, at least in part, fulfill our obligation to educate exporters about corruption.